Hello and welcome viewers. I hope you are good by God's grace. And actually in today's lessons we are going to talk about composite function. That's an aspect of functions. And when we talk about composite function, it's not so difficult. It's just combining two functions in order to make it one. Yeah, combining two different functions in order to make it one. Questions have hit my door that they want people say they like my questions. They want my questions in order to jot it down so that they can use to do revisions for their exam. And don't worry, from these times of my videos you'll be seeing my questions on board, I promise. Okay, let's get started. Composite functions, a sample of questions and questions that can pop up in your exam. Two functions f and g are defined on R by f of x is equal to x squared plus 1, g of x is equal to x minus 2. And they say we should what? We should find g of f. We should find f of g and find x if f of g is equals 5. So what you are going to do is that when you have, for example, let's take I, solution, we are solving. Let's take I. They say g of f. When you see g of f, it's not anything so difficult. What they are telling you is that you are putting the last function into the first function that came. You are putting f into g. You are putting f into g. Okay, so the g function, our g of x, we can see is x squared plus 1. And our f of x, we can see on the board is what? Sorry, our g of x, this is our f of x. And our g of x is x minus 2. So when they say we should find g of f, it means we are putting f into g. So what is going to happen is we are putting f into g. So what's going to happen here is that wherever we see the x part of it, that is when we replace the whole of f into g. So the g function is what we are using. This is x minus 2. This is g of x. But they say you find g of f. So it means that wherever we see x in the g function, we are replacing it with what? F. So now it's no more x here, but it is rather x squared plus 1. Have you seen what is happening? It is no more x. It has changed from x to what? X squared plus 1. Okay, so at this side, in order to continue solving, it's going to be x squared plus 1 minus 2. We all know that x is going to be x squared. 1 minus 2 gives us what? Minus 1. You see how simple it is? Maybe the next one will give you a clearer understanding of what I'm doing here. Let's take the II. The II is saying that we should find f of g. What it's telling us is that when we have the function f, our f of x is this, x squared plus 1. And if they say f of g, it means that we are putting g, the function g, into what? F. So it means that wherever we see, we are putting g into f. So wherever in f we see x, we put the whole function g into it. So this is f of x. So what they are telling us is that when we are finding g of f, it means that anywhere we find x in the function f, we put the whole of g into that. So it means that if it is f of g, it means that this x squared here will change to become x minus 2 square, because we are putting g into what? F. So it means that f of g is going to be equal to, we are replacing x with what? G. So it's going to be x minus 2 square Then we continue with what follows, plus 1, because we are replacing g with x in the function f. Okay, so to continue solving, when we are to do this expansion, we'll get x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 1. This is the one. So when we continue, we'll get x squared minus 4x plus 5. So we end it at this side. Now let us look at the third part of the question. I. It's telling us that find x if f of g is equal to 5. It's saying that if f of g is equal to 5, and thanks be to God that we have already gotten our f of g. This is our f of g. So we can just write it. Our f of g is now x squared minus 4x plus 5. The equal to sign, the 5 here, which is equal to in the question. That is it. So at this side, we have our x squared minus 4x equals 5x. When we send this, it's going to be minus what? 5. So we now have our x squared minus 4x equals 0. So at this side, let's move this one to this, to what? To the right side. So I have x squared equals 4x. And at this side, you can see that we can do something. We can divide through by what? X. So we divide here by x, we divide here by x. So x cancel x squared, we get what? X. Then x, we get 4. So from here we can see that our x is equal to what? 4. So what they are telling us, we have gotten it because what? They say find x if f of g is equal to 5. And we have gotten the value of what? X. You see how simple it is. When it comes to composite function, it's nothing so difficult. Thank you. And don't forget to kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch more videos in order to boost your academic curriculum at Ultimate Mathematics Frederick. And also like my Facebook page, that's the Ultimate Mathematics. Send me questions over there. We are going to talk, we are going to chat. I'm going to actually build you mathematics. God bless you. Bye bye.